the Dodgers. We have them all. But I saw the size of these guys, so I got used to it. And I said, these guys are as big as the NFL. And at one of the visits a while ago, first term, they asked me, they said, sir, we have a hard time recruiting because a player, if he's really good, he can't do the 4 or 5 years in the military service. Could you would like to do a military academy deferment policy? I immediately knew what he meant. And we got it done. And it allows you to defer your service until after your career. So if you're going to the NFL for 10 years, so now everyone wants to join. So do I get credit for this successful team then? The superintendent's going to say yes. I don't know about the coach. I don't know about Kelly. But the coach, I think, it made your life a little bit easier. It was tough. It was tough for the teams when they used to have to play guys that were twice their size, right? So they did good. They had better heart. They have the best heart in the business, but size does matter. And so what we did is we got that so you have a deferment, so a lot of people are able to join now, and they do their service later. They're great patriots, but that would be a lot to ask. And I think it's helped your teams really compete at the highest level. The team was led by your incredible senior class, and that includes the co-captain and star quarterback, Blake Horvath, who is fantastic. Where are you, Blake? Wait a minute, you're a player. I was at that game. He's a player. Yeah, but get everything. You can run it, you can throw it. What do you think? NFL material? Yeah, I'm not sure, Chef. Thank you. Stay up here if you want. Look at this guy. He walks up. Most of them just stay there. Just, they don't want it. Very good. Look at him. I can't get rid of him. I can't stay there if you want. Come on, stay there. He's a quarterback. What the hell? But he ends his college career as one of the most accurate Navy quarterbacks of all time with an astounding almost 60% completion rate, second only to the man we just spoke about, Roger Staubach, who was unbelievable. He was unbelievable. He served 5 years, and then he came in, and came in at like 27 or something, and he was phenomenal as an NFL player. Likewise, senior wide receiver Eli Haydenreich scorched opposing defenses all year long. They've been writing about him, a lot of stories, setting a school record for receiving touchdowns, and you do need a quarterback for that. Where's Eli? Where's Eli? Come here, Eli. Get over here. Look at the size of this guy. They're all saying he's got NFL. Pretty good. I see by the size of those hands you have no trouble catching that ball. Beautiful. And we're going to bring them down to the Oval Office. Nobody else. We don't have room for none of all these big shots that we have here. None of the senators, none of all these people. We're going to bring them down. We're giving them a special medal, a beautiful medal, a very expensive medal that if I see it on eBay tonight, I'll be extremely upset. All right, so we're going to all march down there later. Congratulations. Thank you very much. That's great. Very nice that you say that. The whole team is pointing at you. Are you looking to go NFL if you can?
Yes, sir. I'm hoping to.
Okay, good. That's great. I'll bet you make it. So we have Eli and setting all the school records for receiving touchdowns, earning a spot at the NFL Combine, and cementing himself as, without a doubt, the greatest wide receiver in Navy history. That is not bad. Did you do the Combine?
Yes, sir.
How did you find it? Were you impressed by the athletes?
I was, yes, sir.
Were you as good as them?
I like the.
Were you better? They're all saying they like you. They're all saying he's better. Good. I can see it. We're going to watch, okay? We're watching all you guys. And let's not forget one of the strongest athletes the Navy has ever seen. Oh, this is the guy I want to meet. Who was named a first-team All-American. You can't do better than that. On 5 different organizations. So 5 groups named him first-team All-American. Senior lineman and co-captain Landon Robertson. Where's Landon? Where's his arms are like steel. It just hurt my head. I hit his muscle. It's like steel. Do you think I can take him in a fight? Thank you. Congratulations. That's fantastic. So listen to this about Landon with a 665-pound squat, and a 465-pound bench press. What about women playing in men's sports? Think we could have a woman take your position? Is there a woman out there? I don't think so. You know, we're trying to end that. No men. Think of it. No men in women's sports. Maybe I'll put Landon in women's sports for a little while. How ridiculous. I mean, you know, they say that's an 80-20 issue. No, no. That's a 99% issue. It's amazing. Thank goodness the Democrats keep pushing these things. Open borders, transgender for everybody, and they want to have men playing women's sports. So Landon has some really big records, and he's so strong that the team had to special order a longer barbell. I see, because the barbell would break. That's crazy. Is he the strongest one on the team? Is everyone? Huh? No doubt with all you big, strong guys. Look at this guy again. What do you think, man? So thank you very much. We have a lot of fun at these things. I love sports, and I love athletics, and I love competition. I love competition, and these guys are champions. But perhaps no single player better represents the heart and soul of this team than your 5'9", 174. I love those guys. Those guys that are a little smaller than you're supposed to be, but they have a bigger heart than everybody on the team, right? And the other team, too. 174-pound playmaker who delivered key knockouts and blocks on opponents almost twice his size. Senior Brandon Chapman. Brandon plays selfless, relentless football. I got this from his coach. As he likes to say, quote, here's a quote, "The way I look at it, the fight's not over until I win." That's it, right? Just keep going. And that's really the spirit of the Navy and our great sailors. Where are you, Brandon? I love them. Boy, I tell you, you don't have players like that. You don't win. You just can't win. You need people like Brandon, and they all have that big heart. It's very tough when you get into that elite group. When you beat those schools that are big and powerful, it's a pretty amazing thing. This group of winners opposed and opened the 2025 season with 7 straight victories, including a thrilling win over one of your top rivals. It's always tough, too, Air Force. Coach, Air Force is always tough. What is that? I mean, they're always tough. You beat them, but they always seem to have a good record, and they always seem to do well, right? But no problem with this team, right? What was the score you won by, Coach? Was it a close game or not that close? 1 by 3. You won a couple of close ones, but you won. Doesn't really matter as long as you win, right? So that's great, Coach. But as every Navy football player knows, you don't make it to the White House unless you also triumph over Army on that second Saturday of December, which is the whole deal. I was at that game. It was amazing. It was an amazing game. The spirit. And I have to say, they introduced Trump, the place went crazy. There were no, let's give a little boo. There wasn't a boo in the house. Even the fake news couldn't say. I've gone to games where I would say I got 97%, but there might be one person, boo, boo. They cover that person. They interview that person becomes a star. But they couldn't find any person at that game. That was some game. It was some scene in the historic 126 Army-Navy football game. And again, something I really enjoyed. I love being there. I'll be there. Coach, I'll be there. You got to be back, Coach. We can't ever lose you. You'll be back, right? You better be back. Do whatever you do, Kelly. Get him signed, right? Speaking of that, and you get him signed, all right? But you battled back from a 2-score deficit to draw within 6 points in the fourth quarter. Now, I was there. It was looking not great. It was not looking great. Fellas, you know, I can't say I was rooting for you, but I did want to see that commander-in-chief deal. Is a big deal, right? And it only happens if you win, and it wasn't looking great. With time slipping away, Navy mounted one final drive, and you marched downfield, nearing the goal line after running back Alex Teska broke loose into the secondary, which was amazing. for a huge 24-yard gain. Okay, where's Alex? Where's Alex? I saw Alex before. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. That was fantastic. I watched that because it was not looking good. After you did that, the momentum shifted, right, Coach? The coach was saying, I don't know, I got a problem, and then he did that. We all felt good. That's great. Congratulations. That's beautiful. That's amazing. So Alex did his job, and he did a fantastic job. But every football player knows, every single one of them, that you don't have heart, you don't have that. You can have all the strength, like Brandon, you can have all the strength you want, but if you don't have heart, that's exactly what Alex showed, and he's another one that's known for that. Then 3 times the formidable Army defense held the line, and they really held it, making it 4th and goal, midshipmen. So it's time to do or die, right, Coach? And with 6 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock, other teams might have kicked an easy field goal, but that's not this coach. Coach, did you have a call? Did you call up the superintendent and talk to him like, what do I do? Or did you just say, let's go for it? I think you said go. I think you just go for it, right, Coach? But not this team with this coach, with the commander-in-chief's trophy on the line, which is a big deal. Blake dropped back in the pocket, surveyed the field, delivered a strike across the middle to Eli for a touchdown, and secured victory over Army in one of the most iconic moments in Navy football history. I wouldn't say in Army football history. I guess it was iconic also, but not quite in the same manner. But I watched that. That was incredible. The annual Army-Navy game is truly one of the most special occasions in all of sports, but in recent years, the college football playoff expansion has encroached on this sacred 4-hour time slot traditionally reserved for Army-Navy. So what did I do? I went out. I don't know if I could have pulled it off. I have much more power in my second term, don't you think? What do you think? Would you say, Brendan? Much more power. First term, I don't know if I could have gotten away with this, but what did I do? I went out and said, I'm going to sign an executive order to ensure that the second Saturday in December is preserved exclusively. Nobody's playing football. Not Ohio State against Notre Dame. Not LSU against Alabama. Nobody's going to play football for 4 hours during that very special time of the year in December. It's preserved forever for the Army-Navy game. Now, if you don't want to watch football, you don't have to. But if you want to watch football, you're only watching one game. You're not watching 19 different games, all of them in many ways big. So, Coach, that puts a little pressure because the whole world's going to be watching. So nobody else is going to be allowed. Of course, we'll probably get sued at some point. We always get sued. But we win those suits, and we'll win this one. The only game that's going to be played, so we preserve that time, no matter who it is. You're playing the Army-Navy game. It keeps it special. We like it, right? Are you okay with it? Huh? And just simply, we don't want other college football games over, playing over us. And frankly, I'd always watch the Army-Navy game anyway, but you don't know. You get some of these games, they're pretty tough, and pretty good, and they're pretty tough. And they'll be able to play, but they'll play after 7 o'clock, I think. We brought it all the way up to 7 o'clock, so that should give you plenty of time, even if you have a little overtime stuff. So it's great. It's just an honor to do because it's such an important tradition of our country. It's beyond football, actually. It's a tradition of our country. In 2 short months, the 28 seniors on this team will be commissioned as officers in the greatest military the world has ever seen. We have the greatest military in the world, the strongest, the greatest, and we're proving that when you can take Venezuela in a matter of minutes, put somebody on a helicopter that was well guarded with thousands of people with iron doors. Those doors were like plastic. The United States Navy, the Marines, the whole military, we have the greatest in the world. I was so proud of what I did, and I always loved Space Force because that was my baby. That has never happened. That hasn't happened in 81 years, a new force, and it hadn't happened. And I think we all agree that Space Force has become, you think, right? Very important to the success that we're having even now. Over the past few weeks, the world has seen the true strength and might of our sailors and aviators as they fought in one of the most complex and successful military operations of all time against the Iranian regime. And it's amazing. It's not, I don't want to get too crazy here. Not a contest. It's not even a contest. They do whatever they want. They can't, they had a lot of great equipment. Russian equipment, Chinese equipment, they had plenty of money. That equipment was useless against us, useless. No force on earth can beat the American sailors or the American military. We're the strongest in the world by far. To those standing behind me who will soon be joining these missions, I say, sail fast, stay strong, and go Navy. And I just want to congratulate again this incredible team on the win of this trophy. It's not often that this trophy gets presented. You have to have a very special year to get it. And I'm going to sign the executive order right now and then invite Coach Newberry up to say a few words and talk about what a great team and what great individuals they are. So, Coach, I'll sign and then you take over, okay? Thank you very much. This is not an auto pen. Imagine taking it and say, would you please have this signed? Somehow, I don't know how they got by that. It didn't work. Let's go. All right, it's a good one. We rate them. That's close to a 10, maybe a 10. See, fellas, you can see it first. That's pretty good, right?
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for signing that executive order, protecting the sanctity of the Army-Navy game. It's a game with a soul, and it deserves to be protected. Thank you very much. Thank you to you and your staff, your gracious hospitality, and for making today's ceremony possible. Thank you to the distinguished guests and everyone in attendance for being here to recognize this team and this exceptional group of young men. On behalf of our players, our staff and their families, our superintendent, General Michael Book-Schulte, and our athletic director, Michael Kelly, it is truly an honor to be here. We're grateful and humbled to be back again. As I shared last year, it's been our goal to return to this stage many times during your tenure, Mr. President. There's no higher honor in our program than standing here representing the Naval Academy, the entire brigade of midshipmen, the Brotherhood, and all the men and women who serve and have served in our Navy and Marine Corps. These young men understand that wearing the Navy uniform comes with a responsibility greater than football. Each day they strive to live up to the core values of honor, courage, and commitment, and the standards of those who came before them. Leaders of character who have gone on to serve our country with distinction. What they accomplished this season is a direct result of that ethos and mindset. The players here on stage and to my left in the audience are some of the very best our country has to offer. In just a little over 2 months, these 28 seniors standing behind me will graduate and commission as officers in our Navy and Marine Corps under your command, Mr. President. They will do so with character, discipline, and the values that define this institution. I also want to recognize our fellow service academies, the United States Army and the United States Air Force. The rivalry we share is among the greatest traditions in college football, but it is grounded in deep and enduring respect, because we know that one day many of these young men may stand shoulder to shoulder in defense of our nation. The Commander-in-Chief's trophy represents the commitment, discipline, teamwork that define the future leaders and warfighters of our armed forces. Every day, our players balance the demands of Division I athletics with the responsibility of preparing to serve as officers. That challenge forges the character this trophy represents. In our view, it is the most meaningful and honorable trophy in all of college sports. To our families, alumni, and the countless people who support the Naval Academy, thank you. Your belief in these young men and in what this institution stands for makes moments like this possible and special. Mr. President, thank you for hosting us today and for your continued support of the men and women who serve our great country. This time, I'd like to bring our two captains, Landon Robinson and Blake Horvath, up to present you with a couple of gifts.
Great, thank you.
For sure. Well, first, Mr. President, it's just an honor to be here.
Football is very heavy.
I know.
You have a strong neck.
Like you said, well, you're the healthiest guy here, so you got the neck to do it. Yes, sir. So just want to say thank you so much for having us here. Absolute honor. And last year, I was hesitant to say it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, right? Because I knew we'd be back this year. So I'm glad I can now say it's a twice-in-a-lifetime experience. And just couldn't have done it without our whole team here, right? Our support staff, from the strength and the trainers to all these guys and all the guys who are still at school right now in class. Thanks to all of them, and just for everybody for supporting us. And go Navy, beat everybody.
Absolutely. First off, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to be here. Blake said most of it, but I'm just so thankful to all my teammates and all my coaches for all the hard work they've put in. It's very hard to go 11-2 in a season, but I couldn't be more proud to play for Navy football, and I couldn't be more proud to represent the United States Naval Academy. So go Navy, beat Army forever.
See you at the Oval. Now, anybody does not want to go to the Oval, please raise your hand. See you at the Oval. Thank you. See you at the Oval. We have some. Thank you.